Hello everyone, it is Darkseeker here again. Welcome back for another video. Now, don't you just love humanity? Don't you just love people in general? Especially people who can't take losing in an electronic card game. There are things to get angry over in life. There are things to get stressed out about. This is not one of them. Hearthstone is not one of them. Unless you're a pro player and you've got money on the line, or your contract's on the line, or whatever. Yeah, then I can understand you getting angry, but yeah, to lose your cool over a card game just feels like a waste of humanity. I don't know. Waste of time, waste of energy. Anyway, what deck caused my opponent to get so annoyed and so angry? Well, it was Paladin. And I get it, aggro, dude, paladin, whatever you want to call it, it's aggressive, it's overpowered, it just so happens to be a good deck to ladder up with, so I don't understand why people get so annoyed when they see it on the ladder. It's effective. Paladin is having its day in the sun. Let it run for a bit, and then in a couple of expansions time some other class will get their day. Anyway, today we are playing Expoand's Odd Paladin, and what's the purpose of the deck? The purpose of the deck is to build up an army of dudes, buff them up, go face, and win the game. That's the plan. Now, the early game can be a little bit slow. If you don't draw one drop, then you're sort of stuck because you have nothing to do on turn 2 and you have to wait till turn 3. Actually, on turn 2, you do have something to do. You can hero power. Now, usually, hero powering would be a very slow play. Summon one dude. That's really slow. Well, because your hero power gets buffed up by Baku, your hero power will now summon 2 dudes. That's actually really, really strong. And as the game moves on, as your opponent clears your board, turn after turn after turn, you just keep summoning more dudes with that hero power, with Stand Against Darkness. You just keep summoning. And then you buff them up. The key in this deck is to buff at the right time. You don't want to waste a level up and then to find that you can't attack with your board on your next turn because your opponent just ends up playing Dragonfire Potion or Psychic Scream. So really and truly, you need to set up a board of dudes that doesn't get cleared on your opponent's turn, and then on your next turn, buff them up and then attack. Make sure you get the value from being able to attack with buffed up dudes. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, let's have a look at the deck in action on the Wild Mode ladder. And we're going up against a priest. Now, contemplating dumping everything. But actually, given the fact that we don't have any 2-drops in this deck, and just conscious about, drawing a lot of my late game, decided to keep the Steward of Darkshire. So really slow opener for us here. And as opposed to being an aggressive deck, this feels a bit more like a mid-range deck. Oh my god. So we've essentially drawn all of our late game. It feels really bad. Feels really bad. So I have to make a decision now. Do I coin out the Steward for board presence? Okay, +1 attack is reasonable. No, I'm just going to hero power. Just going to hero power. We can play the Steward on curve next turn. And he doesn't do anything. Okay, so competitive spirit buffs up our dudes. Hey, having 2 dudes with 2 attack is reasonable. It's getting our dude train going. And now this board here, just with these 3 minions, it demands an answer. The damage will add up over time. Okay, that's some kind of an answer. It's going to stop me getting Divine Shield value, but the attack power is still there. Now, snap play the second Steward, saving the coin just in case I can use it later. I could have coined out a hero power just to get Divine Shield value on that last turn on 2 dudes, but no, we'll wait. We'll wait and see what he's got. There you go, Shadow Word Horror. So had I coined out my hero power last turn, my board would have been cleared anyway, so this is fine. So, you see one board clear, you assume you're safe, and you play some more dudes. And that's the idea. You sort of tire out, wear out your opponent. You know, you make them use up all of their board clears, and then you just keep on summoning. This is what I'm doing here, just constant summoning. Now, I'm going to coin out some more dudes, because we've seen 2 board clears, and now I'm saying you have to have a third. Oh, okay, he does. So this priest is being pretty lucky with his draws, but who cares? I'm just going to keep summoning dudes.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
And we attack face because we have a weapon in hand, so we're happy to use up the charges here. Now, he has to have another board clear. What are the chances he has a 4th one in a row? Nope. It's Big Priest. And Ragnaros actually is a good result for us. The dudes will start eating up those 8 damage attacks. And Rag, well, he can carry on hitting dudes all he wants for the rest of the game. I'll just keep summoning more.
Reporting for duty. 2 arms, men.
So, 2 arms, men, and to the face we go. And this game, just like that, is nearly over. He would need another Psychic Scream, he would need a Dragonfire Potion. But even if he does that, I'll just keep hero powering. The card you don't want to see in this game is Obsidian Statue, because every time you attack into it, he gets healed. That's what you do not want to see. And if he'd managed to summon that statue early and then resummon it, we'd be in a world of trouble because all of our attacks would just keep healing him. But yeah, beating Big Priest feels good. Feels really, really good. Okay. Final little highlight here, against a rogue. Now look, we have a 1-drop in our hand, which feels like a bit of a miracle. And he plays Baku as well. Wow, okay. So, having the 1-drop feels good, but the other 3 cards now in our hand are super slow. Those cards won't really come into play until turn 5, or actually beyond turn 5 even. So this is really slow hand. Oh dear, he plays Patches, who is not in charge now. No charge effect Patches. So, we can just keep hero powering. And he has to find ways to clear the dudes. Okay. Yeah, he's trading. Wow. People are so afraid of the dudes. They really are. And so they start throwing all of their board, all of their minions into your dudes, rather than going face, of course. And that's good for you, because you just resummon more dudes the following turn. Again, the value of this hero power is insane. My only issue with this deck, perhaps, is the slightly slow early game, but it's fine. So I may just play the raid leader here, or I could summon dudes. If I play the raid leader, I can clear board, and I value a clear board. I really do. I mean, it's gonna die. It's gonna die next turn, but that could be his whole turn, just hero powering. And every time he hero powers and attacks into a minion, he's doing damage to his face. And it's very unlikely that he runs healing. So I'd say we're in a good spot here. Now, is there a way for him to clear this board? That's the question.
Don't worry, loves.
No, he's playing an aggressive sort of, maybe a tempo style rogue. Yeah. The fact that there are 3 dudes left on this board is really, really bad for him. So, Quartermaster on 3 dudes is still exceptional value. And he's nearly dead. He's nearly dead. Wow, 3 cost Iron Beak Owl. Interesting. But it's not enough. This is why Avenge is so good in a deck that runs dudes. An Avenge dude is pretty strong. Okay, so that was quite an easy win there against the Rogue, and prior to that, relatively easy win against the Priest. It turns out that a board full of dudes, if they can't be removed, turns out they kill you. So yeah, fun deck to play. Probably not the most optimal version of the deck. Level Up is an interesting card. Some people love it, some people hate it. The deck runs both Level Up and Quartermaster, so essentially that is 4 significant buff effects in the deck. And I guess that accounts for the potential for 4 board clears, I guess. Just they board clear 1 board, you play more dudes, and then level them up again, or quartermaster them up again. So yeah, I guess you could account for 4 board clears with those cards, which is reasonable. But yeah, level up. What other buff effects can we put in this deck? Level Up is still reasonable, don't get me wrong, but I guess Quartermaster has the added benefit of not only buffing up your board, but putting a 2/5 body down, which in itself can be significant. Level Up gives your minions taunt. This deck can be quite aggressive, therefore the taunt effect tends to not be very important or very useful. Yeah, it can be a lifesaver if you're about to die, but beyond that, you're usually pushing the aggression. So yeah, is there another option to level up? What are your thoughts on Level Up? I guess given how dude heavy this deck is, it makes sense. Would a second Fungal Mancer be better in this deck rather than 2 copies of Level Up? So there's an interesting consideration. And what other changes would you make to this deck? What do you think of Raid Leader? It's really interesting that Raid Leader has made a comeback. This is a card that we haven't seen for years, and yet here it is. What do you think of Stormwind Champion in a deck like this? There's a card that has made a comeback similar to Raid Leader, and it's been doing good work for people. So anyway, I'd be very interested in your thoughts on Raid Leader, Stormwind Champion, and Level Up in this deck, and the potential for a second Funkelmancer. So yeah, do leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, I would be grateful, and I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.